I suggested we keep our connections strictly friendly. He didn't argue, didn't question it. He just vanished before I even made it to my front door. It felt cinematic in the worst way. One moment, we were sharing something open and heartfelt. The next, I was wiped from his life entirely. If you've ever said something with kindness, only to watch it land like a door slammed shut, this story is for you. If you felt that sharp, hollow ache when someone walks away without a word, I invite you to share your experience. Because it all began, like most things do, with good intentions. We weren't officially together, but we were far more than just friends. We existed in that blurry space in between, late-night conversations stretching past midnight, random texts just to say, "Hey, I saw this and thought of you." Playlists curated with quiet care. Inside jokes only we understood. Weekends that started with a casual "you free?" and turned into full days together. Effortless, unspoken. It felt easy. Light. Like a song I hadn't quite memorized, but loved anyway. And maybe that's where the unraveling began, because I was still putting myself back together after a breakup that had left me splintered. My heart hadn't healed when he quietly stepped into my life. Not with grand gestures or declarations, but with steady, consistent presence. He was just there, day after day, message after message. And for a while that was enough. But then came the moment I wasn't prepared for. The one where someone begins to genuinely care while you're still rebuilding the wreckage of who you used to be. He never confessed his feelings. But I saw them. In the way he looked at me when I rambled about the small things. In the way he remembered details I barely remembered saying. In the way he made it feel safe to just be messy, flawed, and unfinished. And that scared me. He was ready for something real. Something deeper. And I wasn't sure I could give it. So, in a breathless rush of fear, I said the oldest, most overused line in the book. "I think we should just be friends." I didn't plan it. I didn't want to hurt him. It just came out. We were sitting in his car outside my apartment. He'd brought me a snack I had casually mentioned craving days ago. That small, thoughtful gesture caught me off guard. I looked at him, warm, kind, completely unaware of the weight I was about to drop. I tried to say it gently, like softness could lessen the blow. But he didn't get angry. He didn't cry. He didn't beg me to reconsider. He just nodded. Slowly. Silently. Then let me leave the car without another word. I stood by my front door, the cold night biting into my skin. My hands shaking as I fumbled with my keys. Already second-guessing every word I'd just said. I wanted to turn back. To say, "Wait. I'm just scared. I'm not ready to let this go." But I didn't. I walked inside. Sat on my couch. Checked my phone. Blocked on Instagram. WhatsApp disconnected. Texts wouldn't go through. Unfollowed on Twitter. Gone. It was as if I had never existed in his life. The shock hit first, sharp and breathless. Then the panic. Then the deep ache that settled in my chest and refused to leave. I never expected it to end like that. I thought maybe we'd drift apart, slowly, with time. Maybe we'd check in here and there. Maybe we'd linger in that hazy not-quite space of still kind of something. But he didn't allow that limbo. He erased me, like a chapter ripped out with no intention of rereading. And somehow, that hurt the most. For days, I tried to convince myself I did the right thing. He deserves someone sure. You can't build something when you're still healing. You're not ready yet. But the more I repeated those mantras, the more hollow they became. Because the truth wasn't that I wasn't sure about him. I was unsure of myself. He was dependable, warm, real. And I didn't know how to receive that kind of steady love. I was used to affection that made me feel like I had to earn it. Prove I was worthy. Change parts of myself just to be enough. But he never asked me to change. He just wanted me, as I was. And I didn't know how to accept that. So I pushed him away. Used the word friend as a shield. Hid behind something safe to avoid something real. Because sometimes silence screams louder than any argument. Being erased, completely and without warning. That silence was deafening. He didn't lash out, didn't demand closure, didn't ask for an explanation. He simply vanished. And for the first time in a long time, I understood what it meant to miss a moment you'll never get back. I won't lie. I've drafted messages. Dozens. Starting with, hey, ending with never mind and the delete button. What could I even say? How do you reach out to someone who treated your words as a full stop, not a pause? Maybe. I'm sorry I was afraid. I'm sorry I used friend to mask my feelings. I'm sorry I didn't trust that you could care for me without trying to break me. But I never sent any of them. Maybe he deserves someone braver. Someone who wouldn't burn a bridge, only to wish they hadn't. Because I do miss him. Not some romanticized version him. The way the world felt lighter around him. The way he listened, really listened. The way he saw me as whole even when I felt broken. I don't know if he'll ever see this. I don't know if he ever thinks of me. But if he does, I hope he knows. I didn't say just friends because I didn't care. I said it because I cared too much. And I didn't know how to hold that kind of feeling without fear. If you've ever pushed someone away before you could show your heart. If you've hidden behind safe phrases to avoid emotional chaos. If you've been cut off and felt like maybe you deserved it, share your story. I see you. We all stumble through love. What matters most is what we learn from the silence that follows.